Hello and welcome to Neverwinter with Argon. Before we get started, make sure you go and check your Claims Valuables tab. We have in the promo here a free Legendary Insignia Choice Pack. Pretty neat. Unfortunately, it's not a mythic one, but this is for PC. Consoles will get this at a later date. You're just, I believe, 4 weeks behind us on these free rewards. But in here, you can obtain many of the different insignias, just not the premium ones. As for what insignia to take, well, make sure you're either following a build or you're making your own build and know what you're doing. Primarily, tanks want defensive stats and DPS and healers want offensive stats. For me personally, I'm just going to claim any of them and I'm going to turn it to dust, and that will help me get insignias that I already have to be able to upgrade them to mythic. So let's get into things. The Demogorgon trial is here, and with it we have a bunch of mechanics which can be somewhat problematic. I've already made a video on going over the different phases and which new troublesome mechanics they've added in, and the main one is this tank swap. Whenever you're tanking Demogorgon himself, he will shoot you with these eye lasers. After a certain period of time, it'll be a purple line that attaches to you for a moment, and then you'll also notice this weird icon above your head. You should also see, if you look in your buff bar, that you will have immunizing gaze stack, and once you hit 2 of these stacks, it then becomes pretty much untankable at this point. The more of these stacks you have, the more damage you will take. However, there's actually a way which you can cheese it and make the whole fight way easier for everybody. The way you do it is you can literally, as one tank, go and grab the attention of Demogorgon, make sure that you have the full aggro on him, make sure you have a hard taunt power slotted just in case you lose the aggro on him. So then what you need to do is run away from him. As soon as that purple laser has procced on you and you've received that debuff, immunizing gaze, that's when you leg it. It's like what you can see I'm doing here, and you can just keep rotating around the outside of the arena and just continue to do so. You will always keep out of range of Demogorgon and he won't be able to hit you. This might not be such a good solution for the third phase, when you have to fight Demogorgon for real and you have to actually deplete his HP bar, and so he'll be banished. So what you have to do then in the third phase is either you'll have 2 tanks and you'll remain stationary and then all the DPS can kill him. Alternatively, if you have a lot of ranged DPS, they can generally keep up with a solo tank who's running around and rotating with Demogorgon like he did in the first phase. The drawback is the tank is going to have to make sure they maintain the aggro on him, and that's not so easy when you're running away from him and not attacking him when everybody else is attacking him. And that's why you would want to ideally be a paladin tank with smite with a range of 80 feet to be able to hard taunt from a distance. Alternatively, of course, you can have 2 tanks and just make sure you switch at the right time. I'm pretty sure you can switch as soon as one tank receives the immunizing gaze, the icon above their head. Unfortunately, only you can see your own icon, so you're going to have to keep aware of the other tank. Does he have any of those immunizing gaze stacks? You can see when I do receive one here, it's always going to be the farthest to the right debuff, even when you have the madness and the rotting debuffs, because they're also red. It is said that this will potentially be fixed in the near future, that you won't be able to run away from Demogorgon as easily. He will potentially have a lot more movement speed, or he'll just have some abilities where he can hit you from a distance and then kill you, because when you have lots of those stacks, you'll just take increased amount of damage and you end up dying. There is another way you can also make it even easier. In phase 1, when you go and receive those immunizing gaze stacks, you can see when you reach 6 of those stacks, I just walk up to Demogorgon and he hits you, and apparently you don't receive increased damage anymore. So you can do this same on phase 3. You can run away from the boss, and as soon as you have 6 of those stacks, turn around and go right next to him, and there you go. You're fine and dandy to stand there. It's just the DPS will have to be a bit patient, and if you're not running with 2 tanks, just want to solo it, that's generally the way to go. If you solo tank it, you have more DPS in the party, and things can go smoother. They can make sure they kill those portals nice and early. One thing that I didn't point out in my previous video was those tentacles. They can be very annoying. As soon as you see them spawn, make sure you move away from them. They can knock you over. They can absolutely smash you if you're their initial target. So make sure you move out of their area when you see them appearing. To sum it up, you can either use the bug where you can run away from Demogorgon. As soon as you have hit 6 stacks, you can then just fight him normally and you'll receive more stacks and you'll never receive increased damage, and he'll be easy as pie to tank. So hopefully this has somewhat helped you guys. Few things I did miss out on my previous video, and this is somewhat of an update to that, and it should also help you with these tips to help you get through Demogorgon a lot easier. Be aware though that this bug with moving away from Demogorgon and having 6 stacks or more will most likely get fixed at some point. How soon, I cannot say. As for using this bug or not intentionally, I'm not sure if you'll get banned. It's probably unlikely, as they haven't announced that it is a bug. They haven't said that we shouldn't be doing it. For all we know, it's a feature of the trial. So I'd like to give many thanks to my channel members for helping me keep my channel going, and if I presented this well, consider leaving the video a like, and if you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.